Okay. Welcome everybody. So welcome. Today we actually have a very special sessions because if you are from the wind industry, what you want to know is today we close Husum Wind 2025, and we're gonna have a conversation that is bridging strategy, reality, leadership, but also execution. Right. So that is what we're gonna have. And I'm going to be joined today by somebody that you know very well, which is called Afonso Faria, who is the CEO founder of AFF Windservices. And Afonso today is going to be with his colleague called Carlos Minas, who is a site manager. And today, together, they lead a company called AFF Windservices. They specialize in site management, installation, supervision, operation, maintenance, and they're ensuring that wind projects not only get built, but they can keep running safely and also efficiently. So they actually sit here at the stand. So at Husum, that's the last day of the event, and we wanted just to catch up with them to get a little bit of a feel how things were going and emphasize on both the technical excellence, but also the strong partnership that they've been able to build. And reminding us that, people are the driving force of renewables energy. And what we do in this interview that we're going to have is to hear about their reflections on the event, to explore the daily realities, of wind energy, but also get a glimpse of something new that AFF is about to launch. So it will be a pleasure for me to welcome Afonso and Carlos in a minute. So just a second, please. So hello everybody. So if you don't know me, my name is Tony T. I'm the founder and CEO of RIA. What we do is to raise awareness about renewables energy across the globe, right? And if you're looking to get and penetrate the market, definitely reach out to us. There's three things that we can do for you: visibility, leads, and deal. That's what we specialize in. Or if you say, hey, we want to specialize, we want to look at the carbon footprint, not a problem. So reach out to us. More than happy to talk to you and see how we can serve as an eco bridge towards sustainability. But today it's all about Husum, the actually the very famous wind event is happening in Germany. Let me welcome to you in here so Afonso Faria, but also Carlos. So Carlos and Afonso, can you both hear me?
We can
Yes,
hear you.
perfectly clear.
Excellent. I'm very excited to be able to see you here. So I know there's a few people on the back say listening to you, but obviously we're gonna have a very interesting conversation. I know it's the last day, so how has it been? First of all, let me ask you.
Good, busy, really busy, tiring. Also, it's we've been here. But Carlos came in on Monday to check everything, and since Tuesday we've been here open and stand. And it's been good. It's been busy. Made good connections. So that's what we're here for.
Excellent. So before we actually, because I think there's a very interesting conversation we're gonna go through, but it'd be helpful if the two of you can very briefly introduce yourselves and what you do for the company, and because there's still people that will get to know you for the first time. I know you and I, Alfonso, we already had a number of conversations, but it's always good to reintroduce yourself to the people who are listening and catching this conversation.
Yeah. So Afonso Faria, for those that know me, those that don't know me, Afonso Faria, CEO AFF Windservices. I myself, I've been in the business for quite some time now. It's coming up to 20 years. AFF Windservices is coming up to 10 years. And so we've been around. I know you, Tony. I'm sure that a lot of people have seen me already. And I had some interfaces here on the fair where people come up and said, "Oh, I know you. I'm following you on LinkedIn and so on." So it's a little bit like that. Yeah.
Excellent. So that's exactly what we wanted. So what about you, Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos Minas. I'm Portuguese, living in Edinburgh for a couple of years. I'm a site manager for AFF. Basically, being on site, uh, dealing with the daily basis issues and try to sort it out everything in local. That's our main task on site. But yeah, it's been interesting to be here. Like Afonso say, Afonso is a very famous person. I feel a little bit apart when people comes and say, "Hey, where is Afonso?" We are following. But he's been very interesting experience.
Yeah, I think Afonso is turning into a superstar in the industry, right? Definitely a recognizable
Absolutely,
figure.
absolutely.
And it's good to say that because we all know that Husum, it's one of the most famous conference forum for the wind energy. So it's good to get this early feedback. And Husum brings together Europe new renewables energy leaders, right? And I want to find out, just as a kickoff to this conversation, what has been overall, would you say, the highlight of the events for you and AFF? You know, whether you, Afonso or Carlos, it doesn't matter at this stage. But what would you say has been the, yeah?
I think the highlight for AFF, that's not going into personal, but for AFF, the highlight has been that that first step that we've taken. We've been around, like I said, almost 10 years, and people do know us, clients do know us. But now we actually understand we're actually exhibitionists. That has been the highlight. And then the feedback that we've had, the contacts and companies and high up people in companies coming up to specifically to meet us and to see us and to greet us. Professionals that we have not seen for a couple of years. They've come here, they've sat down, talked with us because they knew that we were here. They came to specifically for that. One particular client came as well, specifically to talk with us. So that is a highlight. That is a success factor. You may say it as that. And then all the contacts that we've made, all the new contracts that will come from this conference, that will show itself as we're going to go into the end of this year and next year. That will show itself. I just want to correct you there because Husum is the Husum Wind Fair is a connection point for Europe, but for Asia as well. That
Okay.
yeah, and there is a lot of Asian owners and products and services uh, that we can see here with battery storage, with wind turbines, with the full package that we've been talking with, we've been interacting with, and it's amazing to see how the wind industry and the industry itself is no longer just Europe based and then Asia is in Asia. We are getting together all together as one globe, which is important. It's important to get that mobility, that global mobility. Yeah.
Excellent. So that means very soon you'll be famous in Asia as well. So you want to start practicing, you brush up your language skills. I know you're very, very good in proficient in I think English, Portuguese, I think Dutch as well that you're speaking.
Dutch as
So
well, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, that
Spanish also with the Spanish customers, we're picking up the writing and the speaking more and more in Spanish, so that's improving as well.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because I know recently, obviously, you've expanded there as well, and I noticed that obviously you're very strong in site management. I think that's probably what you started with, but you've also developed some new services like ownership engineering, operation and maintenance. So, how did visitors and partners that actually came around to your stand reacted this year? Because I'm sure some of you knew you already, and they must have been impressed by
Yeah.
in terms of the offering that you have these days. Yeah.
Yeah, so some of the interest, of course, is to all the business that we have, but we have seen here this week that I would say maybe 40% of the interest in the discussions also go towards the O&M service teams that we have, which, by the way, they are increasing. We are increasing the numbers this week. Next week we have more teams working. So that has been more or less 40% of the interest in the discussions, also the talks. About 20 to 30% has gone around the owners, the wind farm owners, the engineering part, the support part, the management for the owner itself, and the remaining has been towards site management. I do have to say that there has been a little bit, a small percentage where we've made some contacts towards components, parts, selling parts, reselling parts, and just moving on components and so on, which is not something that we do, but it is definitely something that we're going to pass on to people that we know within our network that are constantly looking for parts and tools and so on. So that's definitely something that we don't put to the side. We continue with that conversation. We develop that conversation so that we can support friends and colleagues in the industry and just point them in the correct direction for that. Um,
Yeah. Actually, that's fine. So, Carlos, just wanted to ask you. So, what kind of because you were telling me just before we got on stage here that the second day people were so busy that it was difficult to actually to stay on the stand. But you obviously had to organize yourself with Afonso to make sure that everybody, somebody was still back there when people were just walking past. So, what kind of new conversation or opportunities would you say have emerged during those 4 days that you've been here?
Yeah, but, new conversations. I just want to highlight as well. It's how important it is for us come from a small country like Portugal, and that actually highlight a little bit curiosity on people. People just coming to see. Let's gonna see what this company from Portugal are doing in the market, how they are implementing the market, how they implement their strategy on the market, and see and they start everything basically start around that. The people get curiosity. How from where we coming from, where what is our target in the market, how we implement our business in the huge market on the wind market, and basically is that around the curiosity, more curiosity. We are in the middle of the giants, if I can say, on the industry,
Mm,
and you are just a small fish in the middle of the big sharks, and that's this part that's brings some curiosity for everyone,
yeah.
basically.
You're a small player for now, but you actually taking making
For
giants
now,
leap, right? Because I know
for
since
now,
the time I've seen Afonso, I'll get into now Afonso. I've seen the company grow in front of my eyes, and that's just beautiful to see, like you say.
that's a
So,
good point.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, go on, Carlos. I don't want to
No, no,
stop.
that's a good point. And like Afonso is saying, we are people is coming to actually looking for connections with us because they know we are well implemented in the market, and it's amazing how people coming to try to get new connections or solidify connections with us,
Mm,
and people as well just coming to meet us in person. We are being in contact, emails and phone calls, and people they want to make sure they are coming here to meet us in person. It's a kind of respect, and it's well appreciated as well.
excellent. I think that's something that's great. And Carlos, just for you, because I know you spend a lot of time on the ground, right? So as a site manager, and one of the things when obviously we work with Afonso, I know that there's a lot of people either from the decision maker side, but also young people, young professionals that are actually looking up to AFF, and a number of them would like to do what you guys are doing, and they don't have always have a proper understanding what the job is all about. What would you say to these people are the daily challenges, but also some of the rewards that you have of leading teams in the field?
Yeah, challenges is a challenge himself. Daily challenges, capacity of response on these challenges is the big thing. The daily on site capacity of response for that challenges. The rewards is of course it's dealing with the different nationalities, different cultures, and that's something make us grow as a person as well, and new ideas from different cultures. Yeah, that's the big rewards you gotta get
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah, because obviously when you're in the middle of nowhere, so running a site and people from different part of the world, so you gotta find yourself find a way to understand each other and come to the
Yeah,
objective. Yeah.
and the quick analysis as well about the culture. Sometimes we don't understand why people is reacting on this way, and we need to know where they're coming from first before we taking any kind of reaction.
Mm. And that's a big responsibility, right? To manage such a big site. I know the kind of project that you got running, 50 megawatt, 100 megawatts, so on and so forth. So that must be a lot of people, a lot of moving parts. So bring all of that together. That is, it's not small feat.
Focus, always focus.
No, I do a terrific job. As Afonso, so as a founder and CEO of the company, how would you say you balance running a growing company and ensuring that you're still developing strong partnership and maintain client trust?
Transparency,
Okay.
transparency. So first of all, with AFF Wind Services, we've recognized, and you and I, we've had this discussion before. where there is a need to delegate, there's a need to create a structure that doesn't rely just solely on me. So that's what we've done as well. Carlos is actually part of that structure now. He's taking care of the site managers. We've also opened the UK branch where Carlos is a director of the UK branch, so that he takes some load off me. That gives me more time to create solid partnerships with other companies, to go out there and make more contracts, more clients. Um, but any contract and any partnership that we make, it's about transparency and about what we keeping up with the promise, right? If I make a partnership, for example, during this fair, there were some companies that reached out, rope access teams, fiber repair teams, and so on, which most likely we will partner up with. Um, but it needs to be transparent towards whose scope and what scope each one has, and also how we divide the profit, the work, the costs, and so on. Um, it's like marriage. You need to be transparent, otherwise you can't. Otherwise you don't go anywhere.
Yeah. That's what those are the tips and hints here for happy marriage. If there are a couple listening to us, so all of a sudden, Afonso is operating in the new field. So,
Yeah.
I know you talked about transparency, supervision, but also quality control. But I know safety also occupies a big place for you. So, how do you build a safety first culture? Why at the same time delivering on time and budget?
Yeah, it's the safety culture is something that needs to be in the company, and it goes into all aspects. So we can have an example. We can have the most expensive safety equipment, PTE, protective equipment. We can do all of that. But if we don't have the culture where people actually feel safe, they feel like they're being looked after and taken care of, then it will not be. It will just be a tool that is not really used. So what we try to do, we try to make sure that everyone feels safe to speak up, feels welcome to speak up as well. They feel like they are listened to. So if someone has an issue, we will go into it. We will step up and support and maintain focus. So make sure that everyone knows what the newest development is, what the newest safety alerts are. Sometimes also with some manufacturers, they send out safety alerts. We share it straight away with everyone, make sure it's implemented. In the company itself, it's all about keeping it within the family. As we are growing, the family is growing, and with family growing, there is always more work. There is more to keep everyone together. So it's about keeping that family atmosphere and the family attitude, which demands also a little bit different approach. Demands also that we do a little bit something different. One of the things that we're going to do this year, I'm going to try to get everyone together and do like a team building. Um, this creates a good culture, creates a good way of everyone, all workers, all employees to mingle with each other and actually know each other. If we know each other, then we support each other as well.
Yeah, it makes a very, very good sense. And I know that, like I say, I mentioned about the stand that you've had. I think it's worth us going to some pictures because that's the first time that you were exhibiting, certainly not the last. So we can see a picture of you here. So very busy working. I think that was the first day, right? So that you arrived, Alfonso.
Yeah, that's
So
right. That's right. That was the
yeah, I like the color with the way you've designed the stand. It looks very nice. So
yeah,
that's important to see.
yeah,
And I think that's the full stand, the way it looked.
yeah,
That's your little office on the back there. So I can see a couple
yeah.
of luggages. Is that for you, Carlos?
Yes, that's more for me. Yes.
Yeah, you're very generous there. Somebody could have just walked past and just take them and run away with that. Yeah. So that's our photo there. So with the shop. So no, it's very nice. I think the way it looks, the
Yeah.
design, it shows. Yeah, that is that.
That's the coffee machine, by the way. We brought Portuguese coffee
Oh, okay, okay,
so
okay.
that we can have some coffee during the fair. And actually, yesterday we had some colleagues in the industry coming over just for having coffee in the morning and talking a little bit and discussing a little bit about what we are doing together. So
Whoa,
it's good. Yeah,
that's a nice way to attract people. A little bit of Portuguese coffee there, so
yeah,
people are all running.
yeah. Next time we need to bring some pastry like pastel nata. Next time we
Yeah.
need to bring some pastry that. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh wow, wow. That's very nice. The funny thing is that you never really know what actually attracts people first. But hey, everything is good to make them come and see. Oh, so that's a bit of a freebies that you have for people there. So I guess you
yeah.
must have almost nothing left by now, isn't it?
No, we had the big bag full, and it's almost empty now. So yeah,
Wow. So that means
it's
that was
good. It's good.
actually
That's what it's there for. It's for the people to take, for the partners to take. Yeah,
yeah. So those pictures on the wall there, those are all your projects, right? The one you worked on. Am I
yeah.
correct?
That's all. That is all our own projects. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that you can see the back of one of our guys wearing the PPE and the helmet and full packed up on top of an ASOL,
Yeah.
fully geared up with the full gear. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I could see that. No, that's really that's very nice. So that means I'm sure you guys are enjoying our rooftop of buildings, right? When you because you're so used now to being in the heights, right?
It's not
And
a problem to us.
yeah, that's Carlos here, so doing some work. Maybe that's where he's sitting at the moment. So
That is actually where he's sitting at the moment. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, in the same place, and that's just during a meeting.
no, no,
Yeah, we still have our responsibilities on a daily basis. We need to keep
okay.
them, and yeah, we try to dancing between the exhibition and the meetings responsibilities, and yeah,
No,
uh,
that's great. So we get a little bit of okay. So yeah, look,
I just have something. I just if you go back, you can see the
yeah,
turban in the orange color. I just
yeah.
have to say something about the orange because some people might ask why orange. Of course, the orange is the color of the earth, but this orange particularly, it's a Harley Davidson orange, which
Oh,
is what I
okay.
drive, of course. That's why I started to implement this tone into the AFF Wind Services logo and merchandise.
Yeah.
Because it brings back a little bit into the Harley Davidson as well.
It's interesting because there's a lot of symbolism, in your stand. So the coffee machine from Portugal, so the orange, for the Harley Davidson.
Yeah,
No,
even
that
the logo itself, it has a lot of symbolism.
I think that's what it's all about. And here we can see obviously the rest of the room here. But as you say, so how many people usually attend roughly the event every day, every year? Would you say roughly
Yeah.
to get a sense?
Thousands, thousands. Yeah,
From around the world, right? So that means it's
yeah,
definitely a
yeah,
good place to go and see people. Now,
yeah.
okay,
It is.
that's fine. Carlos, just have a question for you. So I know you're obviously very knowledgeable in terms of site management, but I know that AFF has opened an operation and maintenance uh, branch recently, and I just wanted to figure out. So, what kind of particular challenge do you see when you look at this department running operation and maintenance? So some of the challenges that you've observed because as a site manager you have a good overall picture of what's happening in the site, what are the challenges people are going through. For operation and maintenance, what are they? And because people can then understand why you decide as a company to look at this area.
the challenge basically is the time, yeah, timeline to complete the tasks, and of course the operation with the machines. Make sure doing properly, follow the proper procedures, register properly. It's very important to register the tasks in the proper way. That's the big challenge, timing, and yeah,
Okay, and
basically.
and, and and is that the reason why you guys decided it was a good? I guess it must be one of the most important, let's say, roadblock to complete project, and you decide that okay, if you set up something there, you can really be supporting your clients, right, to tackle that.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So innovation, it's another big area, that we facing. So we are in a world going very fast. Obviously, everybody talk about AI, but even before AI, you have digital tool, training, service model to stay ahead. So as a company, so how are you embracing that? So Carlos or
That
Afonso.
that's actually something we are looking, especially yesterday. New technology, how we can implement to make our lives easy, and how we can as well be update
Mhm.
on the industry. But yeah, yes, yesterday we focus a little bit on that point actually.
Okay. So what do you mean by yesterday you focus? Is that you were looking for partners in there that provide? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Where you were purposely looking for to build some connection there to see what could be done. Yeah,
and
yeah.
for backup solutions as well. We never know.
Okay, okay. So okay, are you announcing an app not coming soon from AFF?
Let's see.
We never know. We
You
never
never
know.
know.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of recruiting skilled people in the field, so what has been your approach to attract the talent, train them, or also retaining them? Because this is a very important area.
This area is very important, especially nowadays. The industry is changing. Um, it's moving very fast. Even people is moving very fast from company to company. Um, we've changed our approach. The European market is also changing a little bit when it comes to regulations, requirement, tax regulations, and so on. So we've changed our approach. I wouldn't say changed. We adapted and we improved our approach. So we are now instead of we still have independent workers that are self-employed, but we give preference to contracts. We give preference to maintain and retain people with AFF Wind Services. That means that when there is a low season or a little bit less work, if there is a month or so without work, since we have those contracts running, we can keep up with personnel on the payroll, even though if it's a limited payroll because there is no work. Um, but instead of having the approach where you are self-employed, if there is no work, there is no payment. We are trying to, of course, it comes from somewhere. It's a financial effort that we put into it, um, but we try to retain that. Of course, the target is always not to stop, and we've been lucky that we've hardly stopped. Um, and next year looks good as well. But that is what we've done. That keeps people a little bit more motivated, a little bit more loyal. It's just the way the industry is. The industry is very, very fast. If someone's working with someone, then very fast people get an offer from someone else and they move on to someone else, which is fine. But we try to retain that by doing so.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you're able to grow your service, grow your market, it means that there must be something good that you're doing, right? So, because why you wouldn't be able to attract people and deliver some very good service. Absolutely. I just want to know for people listening to us that obviously we are listening to Afonso and Carlos from AFF Wind Service. They're currently at Husum and Husum Wind in Germany. And then I know you have a particular announcement that you want to make for people or come and listen to you. But before we go there, so just have a couple of questions before we go into the talking about the big announcement you wanted to make. So Husum is very popular, right? Say it's Europe, but also Asia. So and AFF is a very ambitious company, from the way from the time it started to where we are right now. So if we were to look at AFF participating Husum wins in 2030. So how will success look like for you? So what would you say? What should we see?
In 2030, you will see AFF Wind Services with a lot more work, a lot more people working, a lot more employed. When I say a lot more, 10 times more than what we have now. Um, but most specifically, and what success will be for us, for me personally, is, and here I go a little bit into the personal wish, because that's what drives a company. A CEO needs to put his personal emotions into it, otherwise, there is no drive. So, personally, there will be an AFF. We have the UK branch already. We want to open other branches in Europe so that we can fortify and be stronger in all the regions that we can take care of, but more partnerships. So other scopes of works, repair works, blade repair works. That's definitely something that we're going to go into. Um, Components, parts, and reselling of components. That is also something that we're going to go slowly, going to go into, um, and giving more support to the wind farms and the whole energy um, in one whole. So in 2030, we're going to be here with a stand that is in the middle of the hall, much bigger stand with a lot more people and a lot more weight.
Yeah. So I could see where you were smiling, Carlos. That means that you're sharing this vision, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, so a lot of lessons to learn from this year. Next year will be great for sure. If you will be here, I hope so. But I'm sharing the same vision for sure. That's for sure.
Excellent. That is
We
fine.
are
And
we are we are, we are working together.
okay, okay, no problem, no problem. I think there's lots of potential partners, client listening. So, do you have any special message that you want to share with them? On the back of this event before the announcement. Like I say, we're just gonna go into the announcement. But is there one key message that you want to share with them? Let me start with you, Carlos. For example, they're listening to you. So, what would you want to say? I'm sure they all understand that AFF is here to stay, but beyond that.
Yeah, what I can say, just after, of course, we have this 4 busy 4 days, and the results are coming just in the next weeks, on the next months, on the next year, and yeah, we are ready for the challenge they are being facing here, and that, a lot of companies coming and asking, are you guys not thinking about this or that? And yeah, we are looking for that opportunities. People actually bringing to us. We are looking for that.
Excellent. So basically, you're enjoying the challenge. You're enjoying, obviously, supporting client to make sure that they can move forward. So that is your
We
job. So
we
taking the
taking
problem, fixing that, and give it
we
back, and give
taking
it back.
that serious. Yes.
Excellent. So you the fixer, fixer of the
Yes.
industry. No, that's excellent. So I think for people listening again, so thank you for doing that. So AFF is very much a very special company, and I'm glad and happy to hear that at Husum everybody was looking for Afonso because he's working hard for that, and the reputation of the company is very important. And going in this direction, there is something very special that we talked about. And from the time we started, you told me already, Afonso, that you have a lot of ideas in mind about how we can improve not just your company, but the industry as a whole. Because you could see that broke from a professional side, talking to people. And that's why I thought this opportunity come at the right time. So I'm just gonna leave it to you to properly announce what you want to do for all the people looking at you, all the people that will say, "Hey, Afonso, I want a picture with you. Hey, Afonso, how do you do that?" So, what do you have to announce to them today?
Yeah, so there's a couple of announcements. There is one big announcement, but tied up to that, it's that one of the things that the AFF does in is the industry is not a 9 to 5 industry, 5 days a week. Um, Flexibility and putting in the effort and putting in the dedication. That is what you find with us. We are flexible. Our clients know how our flexibility is to make sure that we meet the demand and that we focus on what needs to be done, which is building the wind turbines. The announcement is that we've been working on, and I've been thinking about something for a long time since we've met. We've been talking about this. How do we how do we communicate more? How do we create more interface? How do we expose more of the industry? How do we give more of our knowledge to newcomers, but also talk with the people that is already here? Talk about the worries. Talk about the challenges that we meet when we are traveling, when we are working. People do need to understand, and I've said that several times, and I keep on saying this is a lifestyle that we choose. We choose to be travel technicians, so we choose to be away from our families, providing for our families. That comes in with benefits. It comes in with usually good payment, not always depending on the contracts and so on. So I don't want to go into that, but usually good payment. But it comes also with things that we walk away from. We need to realize that we are away from our families. I've not seen my daughter grow up. I see my daughter growing up every month, every one week, every 2 months sometimes. So And that's something that needs to be shared. That's something that needs to be talked about. Also, the industry itself. How do we improve our skills? How do we teach from each other, learn from each other, and teach each other? So with that being said, AFF Wind Services is going to set up a podcast that is going to be on a monthly basis. We are still to define which day, if it's going to be beginning of the month or end of the month. We'll let you know. We'll announce that way in advance. But we will come with a podcast on a monthly basis. It's going to be fixed on that specific week, the third week or the fourth week of the month. On that specific day, it's going to come on a specific time. We will invite colleagues, partners, anyone that wants to share, anyone that, even if you don't know us personally, you've not worked with us, reach out on LinkedIn, reach out on the email, tell us what you want to talk about. We will invite you. We will invite everyone and give everyone a chance to talk about the industry. The main goal here is learn from each other and teach each other. That is the main goal. And openly talk about the issues and about the industry, about the good things, the positive things, the negative things, but talk about the industry. That is the main goal. And that's the big announcement. It will start next month. We will not stop because it's summer, because it's Christmas. We will continue. Yeah.
Excellent. I think I'm so happy, so glad that you're able to be able to share that, because yes, we talked about that for a long time, and to the journey we've been together, clearly we could see that there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed, both from a technical point of view, but also personal point of view, societal point of view, and to have you take the lead on that and then discuss, that would be really, really, really fantastic. And as you were talking, an idea came into my mind, say that why not at Husum next year run live a podcast there? So that could be
Yeah.
something. Actually. So,
Yeah.
so basically having on your stand, a number of people coming and do a little live podcast show there. So I'm sure that will be very, very, very interesting, because this, I think, because we want to make sure that the renewables energy, the wind energies industry, the solar industry, it's not just nuts and bolts. There's also people working there, and these people go through a lot of challenges people don't even realize, right? So, and how do we basically share that and learn from one another is something that's very, very useful. I'm really looking forward. So, do you already have a name of the podcast or kind of conversation?
Now let's keep things a little bit. Let's
Secret.
let's
Yeah,
keep not secret, but let's keep a little bit anticipation, right?
yeah,
So the name will come for sure. It will have AFF into it, but let's keep it a little bit in the anticipation on how it's going to be named and how we're going to do it. But again, and again, we're not going to go into a very long podcast that's going to last for hours and hours. None of that. Simple, straight to the point, talk about it, close up. If there is points that we need to take it to the next one, then take it to the next one.
yeah. I have a challenge for you just to test your popularity, Afonso. So I think I'm actually challenging you to do a short video, right? Not only where you announce it, but as a call to action, you ask the people to suggest title for the podcast. So we get them to participate in the comments. So we see
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
idea is going to. Yeah, so that's something that I want you to mention. Excellent. I think I'm so happy and glad for you guys. Like I say, so you I know we are having fun here, but you guys are really, really hardworking team. So otherwise, you will not be that that small company from Portugal that making big waves, big wins, so that people,
No,
everybody wants to now come and see. So that's actually
and
the rewards. Yeah.
and
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just need to say it because it's not me doing it, right? If it's not for my guys working out there and putting all the effort into it and being flexible and actually working hard, and this year we've been working hard. And if it's not for all the guys, the service technicians that is in the turbine at the moment as we speak, they are sweating and hauling bolts and so on. The installation supervisors that are out there in France at the moment. I don't know if it's raining or not raining, but they are out there. We are sitting here nice and comfortable. But the people are working here, the site managers that are dealing with everything, with all the stress, the owners engineers that are dealing with inspections, quality inspections. If it's not for them to keeping up that dedication, that motivation, then AFF would not exist. So um, that is my big thank you for the whole team. The reason we are here is for the team. So
I think
that's
I think
a final message.
and that's what a great leader does. So and you're right in pointing that out. And shout out to all those employees from AFF working very hard to put the company where it is today. And obviously, the journey is just starting. So there's a lot more that needs to be done to expand AFF in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, certainly as well. So yeah, like I say, like Carlos said, you got a fixer in the industry. So let's make sure that we can definitely fix turbine, but also fix the minds of people, right, and the lives of people. So that's what I want to do. So I think that was a beautiful conversation. So let me just leave each of you maybe one last word that you want to share with people before we wrap this up. So starting with you, Carlos, if you have one final say, so what would you say? What would it be?
Yeah, I will say if you never been in Husum, just take the chance next year. Just come because it's great. It's a great opportunity to make connections, to like I say before, to meet in person the people you are dealing daily, and it's a great experience in general. Just join next year with us.
Excellent. So Afonso, so your final word?
It's the usually stay safe, be safe, but I think this year, especially for being in Husum, um, within the companies, within colleagues, uh, talk with each other, mingle, make contacts, help each other. There is enough work for everyone. There's enough work for everyone. Sometimes it's better to just pass on to work to someone else or support than to try and do something that we can't do. That's the reason. Again, some partnerships that have been proposed to us is things that we wanted to touch, but we don't touch because we don't have the knowledge. But with the correct partnership, we can definitely put that in our culture and our way of thinking and our way of working. So that being said, um, help each other, help the industry grow, help the world to become a better place, um, and stay safe.
Excellent. So that's a beautiful message. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend. Because I know that you had 4 full day, very busy. It's not just the 4 days because you had to prepare before, right? So I'm
Yeah,
sure you've been working at least ten
yeah,
days so leading up to this
yeah.
event and delivering that. So I'm pretty much sure that you'll be very tired this weekend and take some deserved rest. But thank you very much. To have a safe trip back home. I know you're probably gonna drive back to Portugal, and New Carlos probably back to
I'm
Scotland. So maybe
just
after a stint in Portugal. But like I say, we're looking forward to listening to that first episode. And like I say, so we want to see the video and people suggesting what could be the name of it. So yeah, let's open it again. But thank you very much. Have a fantastic
Thank
rest
you.
thank you.
of your events, and then I'm hoping that you can still meet a couple of people on your way back home and sign a couple of contracts. Let's make money.
Let's go to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes, bye bye.
thank you very much, guys. So that was a pleasure. So as you can see, everybody, so we just had a fantastic conversation with Afonso and Carlos. I want to thank them, the bottom of my heart, for the reflection they have from Husum Wins and giving us both the leadership and also the field perspective of wind energy in actions. So, what for me stands out, it's the ability of this company, AFF, to really connect vision with execution and ensuring as well that yes, the turbines spin, but not just because of technology, but because as well they have the skilled team and trusted partnership that they've put in place to make sure they can deliver to this level of standards. And then of course, we're very excited. We're looking forward to it to hear about the podcast launch. And we carry this conversation, beyond Husum and into the global renewable energy community. So if you are from the wind industry across the world, look out for this podcast from AFF. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. It's going to be led by Alfonso and his team. And I'm sure you'll be invited there. You'll come and share a number of discussions, that's topic that you want to talk about, expand on. And yeah, and we'll be here at Renewables in Africa as usual to support. So to our audience, so I'm sure you're ready to move to next stage, right? Move your wind business, solar business, renewable energy business forward, and to stay inspired through AFF upcoming podcast. And now is the time to connect with them, with the team. So you haven't done yet, so go on LinkedIn. So find the company, connect with them, connect with Afonso, connect with Carlos. And then if you can't find any way to connect them, reach out to me. I'll make sure that you can talk to them, right? So thank you for joining us today. And looking forward to have another great conversation. Take care. Bye-bye.